Big Tiger back in the building. We ain't shaving, y'all. We ain't shaving. I ain't cutting the bald head off. We ain't doing none of that until we sign somebody in this portal, y'all. Until we sign somebody in the portal. I'm trying to find the list of offers. I used to know what that was. I can't find it now. Doing too much. Y'all. I got offered a job with a prestigious Fortune 500 company. I don't know if I'm gonna take it because if I take that job, it might mess up my YouTubing. If I go to this company, dog, they say I can't use my phone. I can't send a text. I can't watch YouTube until I'm off on my breaks. I can't even dib and dab, and I get information throughout the day from folks. That's how I bring y'all the news. That might mess me up, but we're gonna see, y'all. It's a company that you can retire. It's one of them companies you can just die. You can go there and work and live a decent life and die, but you sacrifice your dreams for security. So I don't know. Y'all. I'm gonna think about it. Pray about it, and we're gonna see what happens. I'm waiting on Big Hurt to jump in here. We got some things to talk about. We got a group of haters, y'all. I call them a group of haters, but I'm gonna bring Harold in here, Big Hurt, because sometimes he sees stuff from a different angle. He might be able to break it down a little farther than me, but from what I'm seeing a group of haters, and I'm gonna break it down. I'm waiting on Harold to jump in. How y'all doing this morning? Where y'all checking in from, man? What state? I know I got some people watching me now from Canada now. I got a Canada crew. Check. I think it's Drake. I think Drake is watching me now, y'all. But so it's almost official. King George Syracuse is now at the top of his list. So it's almost a wrap. I think and from what I know how Coach Prime do business, I think Coach Wills was hot on this guy, and now he's going to Syracuse. I think Prime was just like, look, you did everything I asked of you. This your guy. Take your guy. That's why he canceled his visit. That's why he didn't even come to Colorado. Like, look, I'm not even gonna entertain him and try to. It's just like with dudes. If we all hanging out and you got a pretty girlfriend, if you my homeboy, you my partner, she pretty, but I'm never gonna try to talk to her. That's yours, dog. It's enough players out here in the world for we can go get somebody else to rush the pass, so we don't have to. I know this your guy. So New York City in the house. Okay, we got New York. Hey, I'm gonna hang out with some of your partners this weekend, man. A bunch of New York. I think about 15 New York guys gonna hang out with me this weekend in the Windy City, Chi-Town. Hopefully we don't get shot. We going to the Chicago game. But see, hey CJ, I'm gonna break it down to why they really hate. I was sitting down and I was thinking about this. I'm like, I'm looking at all these dudes. I'm like, okay, I can see why they really hate. Now, Jason Whitlock, he's just a career hater. He's just a career hater. Like, he done hated on everybody. He hated on LeBron hard. Like, first he was, and if y'all don't know, at first he was supporting LeBron. And then somebody must have lined his pockets with something, but then he just turned into a LeBron hater. So Whitlock, he does this a lot. He hated on a lot of people. Like he was trying to compare Shador to this quarterback a long time ago, Todd Marinovich. He was a quarterback, got drafted in, I think, the first round. He went to the Raiders, and he was supposed to be a real good quarterback, kind of like a Peyton Manning or something back in the day, but he got on drugs. And his daddy pushed him. His daddy did everything he's supposed to do, but he wanted to point out Coach Prime is doing Shador the same way, and Shador gonna be a bust just like Todd Marinovich was, but Todd got on drugs. Shador is not getting on drugs. Why aren't you telling Shador, make sure you don't get tangled up with the wrong people? People try to trick you. Like, people try to trick you. A dude tried to trick me to get me on drugs one time. He told me, he said, hey, T, I got something, man, that you will love, boy. Hey, look, come over here. I'm going to give you some. Man, this is better than anything I ever had before in my life. I said, well, if it's better than anything you had in your whole life, why you trying to give it to me? You ain't never gave me nothing else. You ain't gave me no lunch money. You ain't gave me a girl phone number. You ain't gave me nothing. But now you trying to give me some drugs. I'm like, man, watch out, bro. So they will try to at these parties and stuff. When people think you're getting a little money, they'll try to entice you and give you a freebie and get you hooked on these drugs. So that's the scary thing with these young kids with the NIL money and all this stuff. It's a lot of stuff they gotta watch out for. That's why like a lot of these entertainers and stuff get on hooked on drugs because they go to these parties, like these P Diddy parties and stuff, and there's drug dealers at the parties that sell drugs to these folks and they get them on drugs. Reason why I'm talking about all that because that's what happened to that other kid. That didn't have nothing to do with his really own field performance. His dad did everything he's supposed to do. That guy got on drugs. You can't control that as a father. You can try to, but you can't control that. And I noticed Jason Whitlock, he was talking about LeVar Ball. He was talking about a lot of these guys. But last time I checked, LeVar Ball got two sons in the NBA that's making over $40 million. So you can't really hate on these guys, but Jason Whitlock, he finds a way. Harold, where you at, man? Where you at? Harold went back to sleep over there, y'all. I called Harold. Harold said he was in the bed. He said he was about to get up. I said, all right, man, let's go. Can't get it right. I'm sending it to him one more time, man. If he don't, mm, uh, I'm reading some of y'all come. Did y'all see how many people saw the Cam Newton Charleston White interview? Y'all just put a one in the chat or something if y'all saw that interview. I watched the whole 3 hour interview, y'all, from the beginning to the end, from the rooter to the tooter. I watched that whole interview because I wanted to get a full understanding of what was going on. And I'm gonna say something too. Brandon Marshall, he made a bet with Cam Newton about who was gonna be the next Oprah or whatever. I think Brandon Marshall, I think you're gonna lose that bet, bro. Cam Newton been on fire. I think Cam Newton did maybe like 2 or 3 interviews that went over 1 million views. So Cam Newton is starting to catch on, and he got another show where he break down highlights and stuff, and that's doing pretty good too. Uh, on the internet, Coach Prime and Coach Colorado Buffaloes. Now that's true, but it's a deeper thing. It's something deeper. Y'all got to understand the deep rooted hatred that they have for Coach Prime, where it's coming from. Y'all got to understand this. Now you saying some people say good stuff about Prime, but when the mic cut, they hate him. How you know that? How you know they're saying bad stuff when the mic cut? How we know that? Now I'm gonna tell y'all one part. I see some people saying they saw it. I see some ones in the chat. They saw it. I'm gonna tell you a part in that interview that kind of got crazy with where I really realized, okay, Charleston White, he ain't all the way right. He ain't he ain't all the way right. Him and Cam Newton started kind of going back and forth, and Cam was trying to make a point. Every time he tried to make a point, Charleston White would talk louder and just start hollering, just saying, no, 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 fuck the fuck. He started doing all that. I'm just like, I'm looking at him like, Cam Newton talking calm. Why are you doing all this hollering? Why are you doing all this? Like you keep saying fuck Dion and you keep saying no. What happened to hashtag HBCU? But when Cam tried to make a point, you cut him off. So when you talking, I had to learn this. When you talking to a person like this, they not trying to. They ain't looking for understanding. They just looking to be right, and they don't care what you say. It don't matter what you say. You ain't gonna get nowhere with them. I don't care how much you doing right, whatever, how much you agree with them, whatever. They just gonna be stupid, right? So I started noticing that, and then he said one other thing. He said, "Damn all them people in Atlanta. I don't care nothing about none of these people in Atlanta. Fuck them, fuck them." And And then Cam Newton was like, wow, because this Cam Newton people, you know. But then he came back and said, we giving a turkey giveaway in Atlanta. So, well, why did you just say fuck everybody? So that's when I started realizing, okay, he do stuff, and he said he a character, right? He was like, he started talking about the rappers and stuff about the characters and this their character, this not the real person. So what he came up in his mind, he said, okay, I'm finna create a character because the regular me ain't good enough to be seen. People don't pay no mind to me. I'm broke out here. I'm trying to do my thing. I'm broke. I'm struggling. So he got online and he was going back and forth with some of these little boys. But once he started getting traction, he realized, oh shit, I'm getting a lot of traction. I can get paid by doing this. So he said, okay, I'm gonna do like the rappers. I'm gonna turn into a character online. I'm gonna be a character. But what he ain't understanding is these rappers, they turn into these characters online, but that junk spill into their real life. That's why more rappers are dying than anybody else because you talking all this on your record, people gonna want you to back it up. And you see Charles White, he said nobody hit him in his mouth yet, but he also said a dude pistol whipped him. A dude hit him in the head, and Cam Newton like, you got pistol whipped. He was like, no, no, no. If a dude hits you with a gun, that's called getting pistol whipped. So he done. It's like two or three dudes done tried to attack him already. And I don't know if y'all remember, it was the guy that was doing all the snitching up in New York, little rainbow dude. I can't think of his name, with all the rainbow stuff. He was saying he ain't gonna never get caught lacking. And RIP to Young Dolph, but Young Dolph thought the same thing. I'm never gonna get caught lacking. He would say it in his songs, like he got his gun on him, blah, blah, blah. But when you live in your life, man, you not on 10 all the time. Even soldiers ain't on 10 all the time. That's why they have soldiers in the group, because you gotta have some people stay in post while the other people sleep. Like you gonna lack in your lifetime. So Charleston White keeps saying this, and he keep getting more of these interviews and going places, and like with Tupac got set up. That's why he was so mad with Biggie and all them, because he got set up in New York, going to that studio. So eventually somebody gonna set you up. It just ain't came yet. It ain't came yet. And Charles, he's doing some things good, and I noticed this. He's doing good stuff for people in his lane. What I mean by that, like Coach Prime. He do a lot of stuff for NFL players and football players, whatever, because that's what he did, play football. He was a baseball player. That's why he's trying to get a baseball team at Colorado, right? He's trying to help out what he knows. Charleston say, damn these football players, damn these sports guys, damn all this, because he's not athletic. He don't know athletics. He fell in the washing machine when he was a little kid. He talked about it. And he said that's why the little lid thing is on the washing machine now, the little catcher thing, so you can't open and wash it while it's going. He said he fell in the washing and got his body caught up in there, and he had to have a bunch of surgery. So he ain't never played sports, right? If you seen Charleston White and you seen Cam Newton, you can see the difference. Like Charleston White, like a little midget compared to Cam Newton, right? So Charleston White has never had the ability to go out there and play sports, even if he wanted to, and he messed up his eye. So no coach when they right mind wouldn't even let Charleston White be on the field. Y'all got to understand this. So this is where I'm thinking all this is coming from. Charleston White, even if he wanted to, he couldn't do what Dion does. He could never play cornerback. He could never play baseball. I'm talking about on a little level, not even on the pro level. Uh, Look how Dion has a way with women. Dion get cream of the crop women, and look at Dion kids. His kids are doing great things. Charles White was talking about how he told his son to drop out of school. He was, they ain't gonna teach you nothing like he. So I don't know what Charles White kids doing. I hope they're doing great. But from the guidance that he's giving them, I don't think they're gonna end up being great. I think they're gonna learn how to hustle people. Because Charles White, he was talking about how he done every job he worked for, he done sued them and got like lawsuits and stuff. So he like a hustler kind of dude. So Dion stand on business. Dion try to do stuff the right way, and he signs contracts with people. He get paid through contracts. Charles White trying to hustle people out of money. He was trying to help some girls sue a script club or whatever. He just that's his lane. That hustle backwards. I really don't want to work. I'm gonna try to get money without working. That's his lane, right? He can't play football, right? Um, I don't know his women. He might have some pretty women. I don't know, but I don't think he got the quality of women that Dion done talked to, right? And he even said in the interview, he said when he got out of jail, he didn't even know how to talk to women. He didn't know how to talk to them. He didn't know about game and all this kind of stuff. He didn't have no money. He didn't know, right? So with all that being said, I think Charles White got a little hate for Coach Prime because he know on his best day he can't beat Coach Prime on his best day. I feel like that same way with Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock, like he was a big dude, but he was a big fat dude. It's a difference. Like Jordan, the guy that just signed with us yesterday. He a big dude, but he looked lean with it. You know what I'm saying? He got a little extra here and there, but he's still lean with it. Jason Whitlock was a big boy, like everything was moving and shaking. And when you playing sports, in order to move and do stuff at a high level, you got to kind of be in the best possible shape. Jason Whitlock, he used to eat a lot, so he couldn't control himself. Like that's one thing I noticed about Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp, he can control himself, man. He can control what he eat, his time when he go to sleep, how many times he brush his teeth, all the kinds of, like he's a neat freak. Coach Prime the same way. A lot of people that's super successful, it's about being in order, having your house in order. And Jason Whitlock didn't have his house in order. I don't know who Jason Whitlock kid is. You can't just parade his kid out as just all American like Shador and Shiloh. Even Bucky got a scholarship, and now look what Bucky doing now. So his daughter playing ball that like he can show, okay, I done put into my kids, and my kids are starting to produce. Jason Whitlock, I think he has a son. We don't know what his son doing. His son ain't never on the show with him. I don't know. He might be building his son up, but we haven't seen it. And most time when you proud of somebody or whatever, you would mention them. He never mentions his son. He had issues about going to the club and chasing white women and all that kind of stuff. Like he loved white. He was addicted to like female strippers and stuff like that. I think he even had a strip club, but he couldn't fight his demons. Coach Prime had his demons. He talked about it. He changed over, gave himself to God, and now he was able to control himself a little more. Like I remember Coach Prime and who's that? Dominique Wilkins. They had that club in Atlanta called Club 21 because both of them had number 21. So they had their time, they fun, but Coach Prime turned himself old, like, and he was strong enough to stay in that light. Like we all fall short, but he was strong enough to kind of keep it going. I thought he had just did it for a while just to so he could just kind of get away with who he was and I'm gonna repent or whatever. So people leave him alone. But Coach Prime can stay in that light, and he always talk about his faith. He's been doing this for over 20 years now. I hear Jason Whitlock talk about faith when he talk about Coach Prime, but just on his regular day when he talking about LeBron, I don't hear him talking about faith. So I think Whitlock is just mad that Coach Prime has his house in order better than Whitlock has his house in order. Coach Prime was slender. He had ladies. He didn't. I ain't gonna say he didn't have to pay ladies because you always got to pay a little bit to keep women around you. That just kind of almost it's almost this like an 80% rule. You got to pay something. You got to provide something to keep women around you. But he's not just throwing money at women for their staying around him for an hour or two. That's what Whitlock was doing. He was paying women for their time. It's a difference. It's a difference between taking care of a woman and paying for a time. And Whitlock was so desperate, he had to pay women for their time. Let me see. Harold just sent me something. Hold up. Let me see what Harold talking about. Uh, all right, I'm back. I'm back. But let me see. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Jason is he jealous, and that's what I think all this is coming from. And now we're gonna get on Umar. So let's look at it. Jason, he a fat boy. He kind of like failed at being a journalist. He's saying the reason why he's doing what he's doing now because he don't like to lie. That's what he's saying. That's why he's not on a major network because he don't like to lie, and everybody that's on major networks like to lie. But Coach Prime said the same thing. He was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it on national TV because I don't like to lie. He still made it. He made it for years on NFL Network. So just because you don't like to lie, that don't mean you can't make it. You got to have a personality. You got to have ratings. You got to have something that people want to come back to and watch. And from what I'm noticing with Jason, he's always talking about other people. That's how he get ratings, not because what he's really saying. Like I don't know if y'all caught it when a guy in Memphis, and I'm in Memphis right now. The guy that got killed by those police officers. Jason came out and said the reason why that guy got killed is because black mothers don't know how to raise their kids. Then it came out that the police officer killed that guy because he was talking to his ex-girlfriend. So that ain't had nothing to do with no black woman not knowing how to raise no kids, but that was Jason's take on it. He never came back and apologized. He just left it alone. He just walked away from it. And I feel like he does that kind of stuff. He try to throw black folks up on the bus all the time. Like all the time. Like what like Jerry Jones, how he operate. I never hear him talking about Jerry Jones. I never hear him talking about Jerry Jones and how he loved money and how he raised his kids and all this kind of stuff. That's a story you can talk about, but he don't never touch that. And that's what I'm noticing with Jason Whitlock. He pick and choose. So I think he's being paid to focus on certain guys that got too much hype around him. LeBron, Deion Sanders, and there's been a few other people he's talked about really bad. I think sometimes he go at Stephen A too, but I'm gonna leave Stephen A alone. Harold, I don't know why you can't get in here, man. I'm trying to hold up. I'm trying to hold up, but I'm gonna throw this in about Umar Johnson. So let's look at how Umar Johnson, why he would not like Coach Prime. Man, I know he tried to make it seem like the reason why he don't like Coach Prime is because Coach Prime left HBCUs, right? That's what he say. But if you look at Umar Johnson, who he is, he's the opposite from Prime. They used to call him fat boy, like he done slimmed up a little bit now. They used to call him fat boy. He doesn't look athletic. Um, Umar panders to women. He because you see when he got into it with that stripper girl, how he started calling her bald headed, whatever he was calling her, like he started going in. So if you got respect for women, you gonna try to you're not gonna start calling her all kind of names out in public, just wilding like that. You're gonna restrain yourself, even if they acting a fool. You gonna kind of pull it back. He started going in on that woman. Now the Umar had two wives, I think, and but they really wasn't his wives. I think from what I'm hearing about people, they saying Umar he uses women to fund his schools, to fund his lifestyle. So he panders to women so he can get donations from women. Coach Prime takes care of women. He's always elevated most of the women that I know of that was in his life. When they started and when they started talking and when they finished talking, they was at a better position. And I remember my old man told me that one time. You can tell the character of a man by when a woman starts talking to him, how she ends up. If she end up with a bunch of kids and he ain't having taken care of them kids, she in a worse position. Now she got the kids, but now she's struggling. But if she started with him and she was working at the diner, but now she working for the post office or something, and she done leveled up, she done went back to school and they break up, but she still now she can take care of herself. She leveled up under that man's guidance, if you want to say. Umar Johnson, from what I see, he just used these women and he never finished what he started. He always talking his talk. Like Coach Prime, he talked the talk at Jackson. But look, he went in there and turned that thing around. Colorado, he talked that talk. At the beginning of the season, he had this thing on fire, turning around. Even now, he's still building. We see it. We see the building process. We see it. He's not just talking the talk. Umar just running his mouth. He just running his mouth. And when you talk about HBCUs, and the same thing with all of them are kind of saying the same thing. All three of them are kind of saying since he left Jackson, he left them boys, he left Jackson in a bad spot. Last time I checked, he elevated Jackson. He got him a new field. He taught him how to schedule their games. He got him with a good coach that really want to be there, that want to stay there for a long time. That's a great recruiter. Even though Coach Taylor was already on the team, he wasn't the head coach. So I believe he left Jackson in a better position. I think he left the SWAC in a better position once he left. But everybody want to say, if he would, and which they are right. If he would have stayed in the SWAC would have made so much more money. Everybody would have made so much more money. But at the end of the day, you supposed to teach somebody how to fish, not keep giving them fish. And he taught the SWAC how to fish. It's just, if they're not going to talk about the leadership of the SWAC, if they're not going to talk about how the presidents and like nobody's talking about what the president for JSU did, the previous president. Nobody even brings his name up. He did some way worse than Coach Prime. I ain't gonna talk about it. Y'all can look it up if y'all can find it, if y'all can find it. But he did something way worse than Prime. But they're not talking about it. So it's Charles White, if you really care about the kids, why aren't you talking about what the president did? If it's really about the kids, it's really about views. It's about views and clicks, trying to get your name out there. That's what it's about with these guys. And they just don't have the how should I say this? They don't have the skill sets that Coach Prime got. They don't got the charisma. There's a lot of stuff they don't have. Let me read some of y'all comments. Uh Yeah, you're right. What HBCU? Like, they never talk about no HBCUs. Like Charles White kept saying, "What happened to hashtag HBCU? What happened to that? What happened to that?" Well, a lot of people still reporting on it. Why you ain't paying attention to it? I still report on it here and there. But this is the thing about it: when you report on HBCUs, they don't really report like support their stuff. And the reason why they don't support it is because they got um, low morale. Like that, it's just the schools and everything. They've been let down. They've been let down by the leadership. So they not gun ho and just so super excited about nothing. They just trying to do their time and get up out of there. Kind of like you almost at a attorney school or something. You just trying to do your time and get up out of there. And you hear some of these older people that talk about it, and they talk about how it was fun. But back in the day, we had more fun, dancing stuff. Now these younger kids, they don't party like we partied back in the day. So I don't know, HBCUs, if they don't get right, they're gonna go out of business. And that's not Dion's fault. And people can blame the government. I understand the government has a hand in this, but if you have good leadership, you can overcome this if you got good leadership. And they never focus on that. Yeah, you're right. Coach Prime showed himself with his kids. When have you ever seen Jason Whitlock or Charles White or Umar with their kids? You never see them with their kids. Hey, I believe you. I believe you. I don't think Jason Whitlock have anybody in his life that really love him. And look, I donated to Umar a long time ago. I gave Umar $100 just to see. Man, that's been over, I think, 5 to 7 years ago. But I think at the core of it, y'all, they doing it for views because they know. I mean, everybody using Coach Prime for views right now. Like I'm even in that pot right there because he gets you views, right? I can do a video talking about Coach Prime, pour water on the ground, and I get 500 views. If I do a video about FAMU winning the championship, I might get 500 views. I mean, every now and then with the HBC, you will get some kind of pop. but for the most part, you might get 2,000 views. Like when Coach Prime went to Colorado, that's when my YouTube page started going crazy. That's when I started getting views, like videos that would have like 10,000, 20,000 views when I started talking about Coach Prime going to Colorado. When he was at Jackson, when I used to be on here gaming back in the day, I had more views than what I was getting when he was at Jackson. I just wanted to support HBCUs and Coach Prime. I wanted to support. That's why when Ed Reed went to Bethune-Cookman, I was reporting about that. I want to report on what's my man Eddie George, but Eddie George he don't give you enough. He just one of them quiet men that don't give you enough. So I fall victim to using Coach Prime name too. Everybody do. But Jason Whitlock and all these and Charles and White and Umar, they're on a whole different level. They want to blame this man. They want to blame this man for everybody else's downfall, and you don't blame nobody else. That's if we're gonna have a conversation, and that's why Charles and White said the whole time you're gonna talk about Dion on the whole interview. You just keep trying to protect Dion, and he was just like, no, we really can't even get into it because you keep cutting me off. And then he said, Cam Newton told Charles White, okay, let's talk about what you do. Let's talk about what you do. I don't want to talk about it. So now you just complained because he was talking about Dion, even though you would never let him finish his thought about Dion. And you said you ain't talking about none of the stuff I do. He gave you the platform to talk about the stuff you do. Now you don't want to talk about it. So that kind of sounds like that Umar stuff. You talking about all the stuff you're doing, but what you really doing, we don't never really see what you're really doing. I'm not saying Charles White ain't never done that for people. I believe he have been in that system and fighting that good fight. I got a homeboy that was locked up for a few years, and he kind of like mentally that he talk about that all the time. That's still on his mind. He talking about lawyers and court cases and how many years you get for this and what's right, what's wrong, paperwork. And he just that's his mindset now. I get it. And that's who Charles White is. He talk about all that stuff. He loved doing that, but he helping kids that might be a lost cause. And one time we had a conversation about that. We had a group called the Kings, and they were saying we were gonna mentor some kids. And I said, look, man, I don't want to deal with no bad kids, no super bad kids. They super bad. I don't want to deal with them because I already don't have that much time. If we get a kid that's a problem child in here with these other kids, he might convince them to do some stuff that they don't need to be doing. And the guys in the group, they got mad at me. They was like, nah, man, we got to get them all. We got to get them all. I said, man, one apple can sport a bunch. One bad apple can sport a bunch. Now, what if this dude end up influencing one of these other good kids and turn them out? Now we don't set one of these kids up for failure. But they was like, nah, we got to work with all of them. I'm like, nah, sometimes you don't. If these kids bad, man, these bad kids, man, I've seen some people adopt some kids and they done burnt their house down. They done killed the person that adopted them. Like, some kids just bad, man. And when you listen to Charles White, he didn't have a real reason to be bad. He was just a bad ass little kid. And some kids like that, man, you can't do nothing with them, man. You can get them a great situation and they'll mess it up. I done seen some women like that too. It's some women, they go to school and they can dance and make some money to pay for school, and they do that. And time they get a real job, they quit. Now I see some women going to school, they find out they can dance and make some money, they'll stop going to school. And they drinking and just getting turned up and they get so engulfed in their lifestyle, but that's what they really want to do with their life. They don't really want to work for real. They want to find some easy money. And you just got to identify people for who they are. And from what I'm seeing, Charleston White, he want to do it right. He got the skill sets to do it right. But as soon as he get a chance to fuck it up, he gonna fuck it up. And you see on his YouTube channels, he done got 2 YouTube channels canceled. He said he was making $10,000 a month off his YouTube channels, and you got both of them canceled just because you could control your mouth. So with that being said, you know something ain't right. Who gonna mess up $10,000 a month twice? And this is just one gig. This is just you running your mouth. Cause he can't control it. Nobody ain't making him mess it up. He's messing it up himself. Like he has no real reason to talk about Dion And especially he don't have no reason to talk about you do it. This is what he was saying. He was like, he got his arm all up. He got his arm all up. Like, yeah, them kids, I want him to rob them. I want him to rob them. But dog, okay, so now you starting to get some money, Charleston. When you start doing stuff for your son, because you got money now, because you told everybody you were broke. Once you get money, you start doing nicer stuff for your family. Do you want your family to get robbed? But a conversation like that with Charleston don't even matter because he's just a loose cannon. He is, man, fuck all, damn all that. I don't care about that. And I see that's how he does. The same thing with Umar Johnson a long time ago. I remember Umar Johnson used to look at the camera and be like what grown ass man so mad at the camera, but you teaching kids. You teaching kids, but you in the camera doing all this foolishness, but you supposed to be the principal, the owner of a school system that's gonna direct a bunch of kids to do things the right way. But you in front of the camera huffing and puffing, acting all crazy. You calling women bald head, scalawags, or whatever he said. Like, supposed to be your baby mom, you done got the woman pregnant, and now you want to cuss out. Come on, man. And you grown doing this. You ain't 20 something, 18. You a grown man doing it. Uh yeah, man. Them HBCUs be still, and the hard thing about when the HBCU steals, the money is already low. And it's because I look at some of their business practices, they not good. They not good. They don't know how to capitalize, they don't know how to work with each other to bring business in. And so you don't have that much money. So when people steal $200 from HBCU, that hurts more than if somebody steal 100,000 from a Stanford or Wofford or UCLA. It hurts more because they don't have the funds. They already robbing Peter to pay Paul. Uh, but yeah, y'all, that's what I got, man. I feel like these dudes, they really wish they could be Dion, but mentally they can't do it. Mentally they can't. Jason Woodlock, he can't control his eating. Um, Charles White can't control his mouth, and Umar Johnson, he cannot stay disciplined enough to finish the deal. He cannot finish what he started. And I hope they all get right. I hope they can all get right. But some people just have these blocks and they can't never get right. And I think that's what it is. So they're gonna use whatever platform they got to get views in the talk down on Dion and anybody else, LeBron, anybody else is doing good because they hate themselves. So they gotta, but they can't say they hate themselves. They gotta transfer that hate onto somebody else. But that's what I got, y'all. I'm out of here, man. I don't know what happened with me and Big Hurt. Maybe I set up something wrong, but I sent him the link, y'all. He didn't come in. So we'll do this again. Y'all be easy, man. Out of here.